Yes, people, it's GG at GG on Wrestling on Twitter. New logo, new rebrand, same show that you know and love. Your one-stop shop for everything that's happened on BTE this week. Of course, this week we're looking at episode 282, which is entitled Hangman's Tale. Some fallout and some shots from Full Gear. What a pay-per-view it was. Very solid. Shout out to everyone that was at Hooked on Wrestling that watched it with me there live. And we finally got Hangman Adam Page, the new world champion. Nearly 3 years in the making. It's finally happened. Let's check out BTE this week after this. So before we start, as we always do, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if this is your first time. If you're joining me again, thank you so much for coming back. Really appreciate it. Make sure you check out me and follow me at GG on Wrestling on Twitter. Make sure you check out the podcast. There's something about wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from. And make sure you visit figtees.co.uk for all your custom figure shirts. Great selection on there, great service. More than willing to come up with any designs that you have, get them put on shirts for figures. So please hit them up. You can even use code GGPod and you save yourself some money. So how good is that? So definitely get involved. figtees.co.uk or at figtees on Twitter. Let's get into BTE. We start with Nick doing the same as he was last week, answering some prank calls in his hilarious voice. Hello is my best impression of it. Yeah, just still Nick shenanigans, Nick silliness. The latter phone call he answered, he did in a Howard Finkel voice. I'm always up for any Howard Finkel impressions. So yeah, good stuff. We get the cold BTE Open, as we do most weeks, and we then get a shot of the Bucks and Kenny at the casino. Seems to be a regular venue for these guys at the moment. Nick won quite a big amount of dough last week, and it's Kenny's turn. The brilliant bit about this was you saw Kenny winning grands on the screen. He turns to the camera and says, "I'm winning money. I'm the world champion. Nothing can go wrong this weekend," which, good little wink. We know it would, and we know it did. So that was good. We get Ryan Namath in a shark suit. That's it. That's it. We see the Bucks. I believe it was Adam Cole as well. I may be wrong. At the Mall of America, of course, a very famous venue for that WCW show that they obviously mention Lex Luger in his puffy white shirt. We see them go through a kind of mirror maze. Drop me right out. Drop me out. That would do my head in. They went in knowing that apparently nobody has ever completed it. Drop me out, man. I don't know how you guys feel about these mirror mazes, but I'd get a bit shaky in there, man, and not knowing the escape. Yeah, I think I'd get a bit freaked out. But they completed it. Good on them. But that was pretty much it for the mall. We see some footage, I believe, from Rampage. This just really made me chuckle. Nick Jackson just keeps saying, "We're going to get you pricks next week," and obviously catches himself and says to the camera, "I keep saying next week." So that was just funny. Knowing obviously the pay-per-view was the next day, he was, clearly confused. And we also get a lovely little shot of Matt Jackson just singing along to the Jungle Boy theme as everyone else does, and admits that it is quite a catchy tune, which it is. It is, Matt. It very much is. This was great. So we see the Bucks getting ready for their 6-man at Full Gear. And if you haven't seen it, this is what you were in store for. We see Nick Jackson with some pink tape, probably wrist tape, because they probably had pink wrist tape for their gear. He's taped all around his beard and left obviously the goatee part to give it a little spray down. The lengths these guys go to for these looks, I mean, you've got to take your hat off to them. We see Matt Jackson explain where the pink gear came from. They said they're always trying to come up with new ideas. They said they have whiteboards filled with ideas. It's crazy how much detail goes into just the look of a wrestler. It's something you really have to commend. You know, people that work on film sets and things like that, more time their wardrobe is considered and given to them. You know, these guys always take real care into their look, and you've got to commend that. And the pink was, but Matt explains that pink was his favorite color as a boy, hence that's why they've all dressed in pink. And we get a hilarious little rendition of Bret Hart's theme, obviously because of the pink and black. That's Adam Cole and Nick Jackson in the bathroom there, just air guitaring and singing along their own rendition of Bret Hart's theme, which was good. We then see some highlights of that match, and it was when I see this BTE footage, the Cutler Cam footage, that I realised just how much I did enjoy this match. I think in the room at Full Gear, we kind of soured on it. There was some booking decisions that we weren't really fans of, and it kind of soured the overall mood of the room for this match. But you know what? This match had so many fun spots in it. The up over with the steel chair in hand from Jungle Boy to him then arm dragging the Bucks sitting on the chair to then get caught by Adam Cole with the boom, I think he's calling it in AEW. Just good stuff. So many good entertaining spots. Obviously the Brandon Cam Cutler footage is always good to see. Like just hearing his commentary over the match and him whining and shouting is always hilarious. We even get some extended bonus footage from this match. So if you remember, Christian Cage found his way up to one of the balconies and jumped off. But we actually see Brandon Cutler following Christian and Nick Jackson in a lift and fighting all around the arena, which was nice. It was a nice little extended bonus footage that we didn't get to see. So it's good that they're doing this. I'd like to see this used more if they could. I know a lot of people aren't tuning into BTE, but you know, just these little extra tidbits of matches could be great, other than just the regular Cutler Cam footage that we see every week. But yeah, I'd really like to see maybe them use this more, because I think that's a really entertaining little segment that they can save for this show. Cutler, for the majority of the match, because he's obviously running after Nick and Christian during this part, so you hear him behind the camera just panting throughout the majority of the remainder of the match, when he's, you know, oh my god, Adam, you're cut, you're bleeding. It was good. One of the really good spots from this match was the thumbtack knee pads, and they did a really good, nice shot of all three men stood at the ramp with those knee pads on. That's obviously the super click I'm referring to there. Bit that kind of caught me off guard was following the footage from that match. We did see a very, very short little footage of the super click visibly just battered and bruised backstage, and seemed very, very real. Strange, almost like, you know, I get that they don't keep it strictly kayfabe on this show, but yeah, it was almost like a real kind of shot to almost, you know, ensue sympathy for them, for these hills. But yeah, it was just strange, caught me off guard. But yeah, you know, these guys put their bodies through so much, so you got to take it off to them, and it's about time we saw, you know, what they do for us and the effect that it has. Because, you know, Nick went in injured, Matt Jackson's back is never great. Adam Cole, as far as I'm aware, is at full health, but you know, the match would have obviously taken its toll. The next segment I really enjoyed. More best friend stuff. I love best friends. I really want to see some more of them on TV, not featuring Matt Hardy. Just get Matt Hardy away. But yeah, it's Rocky Romero, who of course welcomed the best friends into Chaos. Trent and Chucky, previous members already, but we now have Chris Statlander and Wheeler Utah and Orange Cassidy now members as well. We see Rocky Romero knock on the hotel room. Chucky T answers and says, you know, just a low-key chaos party, pretty chilled. Comes in, obviously, says to Rocky, you know Chris, you know Orange Cassidy, you know your boy. And I've got a surprise for you. Turn around, it's Trent. and it was, of course, Wheeler Utah in a headband. But they're not budging. They're committed that this is Trent, Roppongi, Vice, you know, all that stuff. Oh, he's got a question mark. Oh, you forgot about the question mark. That's probably why you didn't recognize him. Just all good stuff. Wheeler Utah playing it well, to the point where Rocky Romero kind of almost accepts it. And as he's walking out the room, he looks puzzled. And then we see a shot of um, Roppongi Vice. It's Rocky Romero and Trent, but they photoshopped Utah's face on Trent's body. So it's almost like Romero was, second guessing himself, and like he almost remembered it that way now. So that was just funny, very funny, very funny. 2.0, entertaining guys, but this segment was just them kind of just bagging on Aubrey because of their low scores for the Elite General Manager. That was pretty much it. We then get some highlights from the wonderful, wonderful main event that was Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page. After the long, long build, one of the greatest stories ever told in wrestling. Yes, you heard me, and yes, I know you agree. So yeah, just some clips of that, just the drama that unfolded with the Bucks coming out, and you know, and how much that added to the match. We get some footage of Nick Jackson, supposedly teasing to grab Hangman's leg as he did to them. And we, of course, get the very emotional moment that was Matt Jackson giving Hangman that final nod before he hit the buckshot and won the match. Now, you may have heard some review shows that I've done already. Please check them out if you haven't already. So Kick Out Podcast, make sure you subscribe to their channel. Check out my guest spot where we reviewed Full Gear. Also check out WrestleManiac UK. Me, him, and NK, shout out NK, did a review as well. So make sure you check those out if you haven't already to get my full breakdown and thoughts on Full Gear. But this could have gone two of one ways. I think I mentioned it to Mex before. Was it a nod of approval to say, yeah, get him? Or was it a nod just to say, look, I'm not doing anything, as you wished, we're not getting involved. So it's interesting to see where that goes. But that moment was brilliant. Very emotional ending, to be honest. We first get a shot of Kenny Omega walking alone with the Bucks and Adam Cole. Nobody else around him, visibly up, distressed, annoyed. We know he's banged up. We know he's injured. His shoulders aren't great. So hopefully that's a bit of rest for Kenny now. But it's just a mirror image of him, walking out to emptiness, to Hangman walking into a crowd of his peers, all applauding him, all happy for him. And what a great moment that was. We see Pac not in Full Gear, and he's the first one to hug Hangman, which was just a beautiful little moment, because obviously Full Gear started with those two, and to see that moment was brilliant. We also get a cheeky little cameo from Bryan Danielson, who congratulates Hangman as well. Just real stuff. These guys are clearly happy for Hangman. The Dark Order guys surround him. Yeah, just lovely, lovely moment. Everyone is a fan of Hangman, and everyone was behind Hangman. And morale is apparently very high in AEW at the moment because of things like this, because of rewarding the stars that they're trying to build, and they're watching it unfold before them. Seeing one of their own almost finally win the big one, it gives them all hope. So it's brilliant, nice to see. And we get a shot of the nameplate change, which they tend to do fairly often on BTE, I noticed. But yeah, the full name was on there. It looked greasy. Hangman Adam Page. We're not missing any details there. The full name looks sick on the title. He gets handed the title, and that is it. The title is his. Hangman Page, finally our AEW World Champion. Pretty strong week of BTE this week. I'll be honest. But one more detail I want to just mention, because it did come up on Twitter. I hope they don't mind me obviously mentioning them. It was from Wrestling Wizard. It was somebody else that tweeted it out, but Wrestling Wizard was apparently the person that caught it. So last week, or was it the week before? Maybe the week before, the Halloween episode, we did see a shot of Hangman in the Squid Game style grid with 282 was his number. And he did theorize before this had happened. I mean, it was fairly obvious, what week he was going to appear as the champion, but it's just a nice detail that his number reflected the episode number that we're now reviewing today and looking at today, where he was finally world champion. So just another lovely, nice little detail. I love details, and AEW is the place for them. Overall, a pretty strong episode. Some good shots. I love the extended cut of that 6-man match. The deleted scenes almost. So I thought that was good. Anything Best Friends is always going to get a pop out of me, and Nick Jackson is hilarious every single week. Let me know your favorite part, guys. Please let me know if I've missed anything. I'm sure I have. So please comment down below. Make sure you check out my podcast, wherever you get your podcasts from. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you drop a like if you stop by. It'd be lovely to hear from all of you. Please leave a comment below. Please share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If you're a fan of BTE, you know someone that's a fan of BTE, share this video. I'm here every week to recap BTE for all of you in case you miss it, and we can all discuss our thoughts and how we felt about this week. But that'll be it, guys. Of course, hit up figtees.co.uk for all your custom figure shirts. Use code GGPod. Save yourself some money as well. That is it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate it. Respect yourself. Don't neglect yourself. And I'll see you next week.